What is going on? I'm the Tutaku, and this is the final part 2 of Attack on Titan. No manga, just the recap, because there's no differences, so let's get into it. Hanji and the Jaegers find Levi's lifeless body, and then Zeke emerges from the Titan's stomach, healed. Hanji falls into the river with Levi's body to get away. They hide out in the forest, and Hanji tends to Levi's wounds. The Jaegers make way back to Shiganshina, and send some after Hanji and Levi. In Shiganshina, the Marleyan forces begin their assault. Yelena tells Eren to get out of his Titan and flee, but he doesn't listen, going after Reiner. While the two engage, Pieck brings Gabi to McGrath. She tells him that Zeke may have royal blood, and that's why Eren hasn't used the rumbling yet. Eren is able to take out Reiner and Porco, but is shot by Pieck in her anti-Titan armor. The Jaegers are getting slaughtered, so Onyokopo goes to ask the scouts for help and lets them out. He says he was clueless about the whole plan, and Armin convinces the others to help by saying that Eren has to be playing Yelena and Zeke, who shows up, destroying the blimp fleet and then going after Pieck. Falco is able to meet up with Gabi and Colt thanks to Nile. While hiding, Gabi finally comes to the realization that Paradis doesn't have any devils, just people. Falco then confesses his love to her, thinking that he may die soon if Zeke screams, and they go to look for him, hoping that if he knows that Falco drank his spinal fluid, he won't. While fighting Pieck, Zeke notices rising steam from further down the wall and sees a skeleton of the Card Titan, still with the artillery platform on its back. He concludes that Pieck must have fallen, but it was just a diversion, and then he is shot in the nape, falling off the wall. Zeke goes to scream, but Colt comes to stop him. He explains what happened, and while Zeke sympathizes with him, he says he has to, and he turns everybody in Shiganshina into Titans, which start attacking the Marleyan soldiers, and then Zeke sends Falco after Reiner to get him off Eren. Reiner manages to hold both of them down, but only for a second. Then when he grabs Eren's ankle, Falco goes for his nape. Then Porco appears, and Falco eats him, and now he's the jaw. Eren manages to get away from Reiner and almost makes it to Zeke, but gets his head blown off by Gabi. Zeke catches Eren's head, and then Eren wakes to be inside the coordinates. Eren sees Zeke sitting chained to the sand beneath him. Zeke explains that those with royal blood come here to use the Founding Titan's power. He has been waiting in this timeless land for Eren to wake up ever since they made contact, since they still managed to do so before Eren passed on. Now they have successfully unlocked the power of the Founding Titan. A young girl approaches, and Zeke says that she is Ymir, the founder, because that is the only person who would make sense in a place like this. He explains how she rebuilt his body, and this must be where she makes the Titans. Zeke tells Eren to command Ymir. He is unable to move freely because of the chains that are binding him to the vow renouncing war. When Eren remains silent, Zeke urges him to ask her to make the Eldians unable to bear children. However, Eren refuses, saying he could never go along with a plan like that. He just manipulated Zeke to get himself here. Eren walks up to Ymir and asks her to lend him her power. Ymir walks right past him though, continuing towards Zeke, who is grappling with Eren's betrayal. She stops in front of Zeke, dropping to her knees. Zeke explains that he learned a lot while waiting for Eren, including that Ymir can make anything as long as one of royal blood wills it. He stands, breaking the chains he created with his own command, saying that he is here without being tainted by the first king's ideals, so he managed to nullify the vow to renounce war. Zeke describes Ymir as a slave with no will of her own, and says she will accept those of royal bloods as her master, thus giving him all the power of the founder. Eren simply was a key that he needed to unlock them. Zeke and Eren then travel through Grisha's memories, as Zeke attempts to show Eren that Grisha only cared about him as a tool. However, instead he sees Grisha giving Eren the freedom that Zeke never had. When Grisha reacts to their presence in his memories, Zeke is surprised that Grisha has not forgotten about him. While visiting their memory, when Grisha took the Founding Titan, it's revealed that he was led there by the future memories he received through the Attack Titan. He plans to kill and obtain the Founding Titan and end the royal bloodline, but falters as he doesn't want to murder children. Eren intervenes, using the fact that Grisha can hear him through his future memories, convincing Grisha to go ahead with the attack. Following the massacre, Grisha apologizes to Zeke, saying that he was a terrible father, and he asks to stop Eren. Zeke is pushed back into the coordinates. He orders Ymir to sterilize the Eldians. Eren, who is chained, gets out of his bindings, making his way to Ymir. To her backstory, Ymir was enslaved as a child, and while being hunted for sport, she came into contact with a mysterious creature that transformed her into a massive titan. The leader of the tribe who enslaved her used her and her new power to expand the fortunes of his people and attack Marley. Ymir dies, saving him from an assassination attempt. After her death, her daughters were ordered to consume her flesh in order to keep her powers. In the present, Eren embraces Ymir, telling her that he will end her slavery, saying she's not a god or a slave, but a person. She has a choice, and she chooses to give him the power of the Founder. Outside of the paths, a long, translucent spine connects Eren's head with his body. He then begins the rumbling, and all 3 walls begin to fall. Using the Founding Titan's power, Eren talks to all subjects of Ymir, telling him that he will use the rumbling to trample every inch of the world beyond the island, until nothing is left outside of the island of Paradis. After, the Titans still in Shiganshina start attacking the Eldians, but are taken out. Connie has gotten a hold of Falco and rides with him to feed him to his mother so she can turn back into a human. They make it to Rakako village, but Armin and Gabi were close behind him. Armin then goes to sacrifice himself until Connie stops him. Armin, talking to Gabi, realizes that all the hardening was undone, including Annie's, which she tries to take Hitch as a hostage and get her a horse so she can flee. Then it's shown Annie's backstory of how she was trained to become a warrior. In Liberia, the Eldians try and warn the Marlians about the rumbling, but they don't believe them. Now the Jaegers have taken over, with Frosch saying that he has always known Eren's plan all along, and he invites Jon to join the Jaegerists. They are set to execute Yelena and Onyokopokoko. Then, Peak shows up, taking the 2 of them plus Jon at the orders of Hanji, who has agreed to work together to stop Eren. The plan is to take the flying machine that the Azumabito made to get to Eren. The group makes it to the port and see that the Jaegerists have already taken it over. After rescuing the engineers, they learn that it would take a whole day to ready the plane. Hizuru suggests that they go to a port on the mainland and they can service it there. They make a break for the ship. Jaegers attack, and the reinforcements are on their way incoming, but the train is blown up. Frosch almost blows the ship up, but is shot by Gabi, falling into the ocean. Once the ship is ready to go, McGrath says he will stay to make sure they get away, and to make sure the Jaegers can't follow. Keith then shows up. He's the one who blew up the train, and together, they blow up the other ship. Odiha is where they are heading, and Hanji thinks that Liberio might already be lost. Annie loses the will to fight after learning she can't save it. In Marley, a wall of ships are ready to fight the Titans incoming, but are completely decimated. Titans start coming ashore and trampling everything in their path, and in the background is Eren's new Titan form. And that is Season 4, the final, Part 2, and with that is the entire recap for the most part, with the exception of the 2 episodes that should be coming out. So, Otaku out.